Hey folks, and I'm back. Sorry that there's no music, no none here, but
Mods are
whatever.
stolen. They don't belong in a display case on the side of the road.
The last place the sorties will look is the Nur Gewehr shop. I am a respected businessman.
I'll just be glad when we can make the drop for the Omar.
Well, I probably pissed off Diomar.
You must be in town for the summit.
We're having a private conversation.
I have lived here all my life. Trier has seen a lot of history, but nothing like this.
Hey, back off.
I guess Her Holiness and Chairman Dumier think that if they can make peace in Trier, they can make peace anywhere.
Hey, back off.
People here have pretty extreme views, one way or the other. If you are Order, you are fundamentalist. You want to blow up anything that has wires or moving parts. If you are WTO, you want everybody working in the factory. The rest of us are caught in the middle. I closed up shop and came in here. I decided it would be safer.
So remember the bits, the weapon shop outside? Yeah, that's his store, and we nicked a bit from it.
Enjoy your stay.
I hate those things. It's all bloody copyrighted music. Thankfully, I don't think I have that worry in the Mankind Divided.
A member of the Order. Are you with the Summit? Certainly not. I live here in Trier. Seekers here don't care very much for this notion of a summit. Why not? We have heard Luminan Saman's call for a return to scripture. In this shard, we read the scripture, the original word of Her Holiness. Not what she says for the camera today, or tomorrow, or 2 weeks ago. What's the difference? What's the difference? That's exactly the attitude that opens the door to tyranny in a free state. Remembering only what was said on the last talk show. What's the value of a free press when attention spans are so short?
I was just curious about the summit. Sorry to interrupt.
Her Holiness and Chairman Dumier are making a business deal. It may bring money, it may bring power, but it won't bring balance into the lives of ordinary people.
Well, you could see what's the difference, as in, you know, wouldn't Her Holiness be sticking with what she's saying? You know, wouldn't her scripture be the same as what she's saying in the interviews and whatnot? What? But yeah.
If Her Holiness thinks she can put us all into a great pre-collapse wealth-making machine, she must think she's a god. Saman understands that the human body is no machine. The lesson of the collapse is that we need to learn to live as human beings. An economic system designed for millions of people soon begins to live for its own sake. Social machinery is no less harmful to the human organism than biomodification, cybernetics, nanite plagues, and the other modern evils rightfully denounced by Luminan Saman. Enough talk. It only makes me angry.
Clearly, you're not living as a human. You fucking Incredible Hulk here.
I came here hoping to relax.
Yeah.
Saman understands that the human body is no machine.
Strangers welcome. Just don't make any speeches.
So, don't advocate for pineapple on pizza. Okay. Damn it.
Ever since the strike at Panzerwerks, people have been treating my business as their own private amphitheater. A lot of pretty phrases flying around, but it's all about one thing. Money. The hypocrisy is suffocating. The rich drone on about opportunity and growth. The poor paw at little scraps of propaganda. In most order, balance. Cheetah, cheetah, cheetah. What a farce. Everybody just wants an easy life. Who can argue with that? This summit is just a giant photo op for certain personalities. Strangers welcome. Just don't make any speeches.
Okay. What's in here? Ooh, someone. Ooh, that's Tracer. Didn't disable my multi-tools. Probably disable my medkits. I'm cool what that says. This is quite obnoxious without any sound effects or anything, but whatever. Coffee, your friend. Regular consumption can assist in moderating asthma attacks and increase the speed of rapid information processing by 10%. Inverse association between coffee drinking and risk of suicide. Protective effect of coffee against colon and colorectal cancers. Greater intake has been associated with decreased risk of kidney stones. Detective Dick Murchison, the Jet City Murders. I knew she was trouble the moment she walked into my office. She was the kind of woman who never went into Lower Seattle with a pair of sentinels on a leash. Yet here she was at my doorstep, rain-soaked, alone and vulnerable. So why was I afraid? He was some WTO hotshot. That's how she started. He ruled his new Seattle society and had the SSC in his hip pocket. The only way she could find a detective brave enough to go after him was by heading down the inclinator and to my office. Was it brave enough or stupid enough? Didn't matter to me. I would have done anything for a curve like her. That, and the bill collectors who drained the last of my credits. She was afraid he was going to rub her out, try and lay his hands on her family fortune. He had a mistress somewhere on the platform above, and she was in on the plot. Then there was his bodyguard, Barry the Juice. After the last time I crossed him, I knew even a hollow mail from him would try to strangle me. Getting involved in all this was a bad idea. But hell, bad ideas are my job. Ugh. Tommy the Walking Greasel by Stuart Deer. Tommy was a Greasel. He looked scary. He sounded scary, but he was not like the other Greasels. He was nice and he could talk. He was always afraid of Bloodstain, the large red Greasel who was the leader of his pack. Bloodstain always wanted to hurt people, and cats, and rats, and pigeons. Tommy liked all the people and animals, but was not strong enough to stop Bloodstain and the other Greasels from hurting them. Bloodstain could not talk, and he was very angry when he found out Tommy could. He spat at Tommy over and over, and Tommy was lucky to get away alive. Then Tommy found Timmy, a little boy in a wheelchair who could not walk or talk. When Timmy saw Tommy, his eyes went wide with fear. But Tommy said, "Don't be afraid. I'm not a monster. I'm a transgenic. Ride around in your lap and talk for you. I was created to serve you. We could be friends." At first, Timmy's mother did not like the idea, but when she learned that Tommy could talk, she laughed and laughed. You see, not all transgenic creatures are bad. If we give them a chance, they can be our friends. Bit of a weak argument. Like, yes, if to think, like, all Greasels that we've seen in the entire setting have been in a hostel. I doubt there's one that is some, like human level intelligence. It's, not what we, it's basically taking, like making up like a little children's story and saying, here's, and great proof. It's a terrible argument. It's like, oh, I'm a fool. Okay. But yeah, that's just bollocks. Nothing else there. Okay. That does nothing. Found the work catalog, large scale bots, HS-66. Did I read that? Sleek and nimble, but still gets the job done. Railgun. RB-76, military bot. Panzerworks Premier, large scale bot. Tank that thinks. Rocket launcher.
How's the search coming?
I've made some discoveries. I think that you've brought me to the right place.
What's the passenger's name?
My instructions forbid me to say.
Maybe I could help if I knew who it was.
You've been very helpful already. My computer analyzed the transceiver in your temporal bone and found some interesting data files.
Those are encrypted files.
I found the key some time ago. I will be using your eyes and ears to gather more data. As compensation, if you need a pilot for any reason, I will be available.
I'll check back when I need a pilot.
Okay. It's random for just pop up with, you know, random, you know, phone. Oh, career map. Vishnu's Fall, a brief history of the Indian crisis. After the bombing, Indian officials issued a series of stern warnings to Pakistan that were rebuffed with denials of responsibility. There are threats that any attempt to use the bombings as a pretext for military action we met with force and kind. From the viewpoint of the present-day historiographer, this was a crucial event, a game of brinksmanship that have been played between Pakistan and India many times before. And so, while tragic, it is also easily understood how clear signs of the impending catastrophe might have been ignored. Like two kids shoving each other on the playground, said historian Alistair Brooks, you never expect them to come to blows. That was before Pakistan began trials of the Calcutta 16. Both nations descended into a maelstrom of political upheaval that would eventually culminate in the exchange of nuclear warheads.
Alex D., you're the last one to arrive. I suppose that, like the others, you're after my laboratory in the gateway to J.C. Denton.
You're Tracer Tong.
I see that Dr. Nassif didn't exaggerate about your mental acuity. Yes, I'm Tong. I suppose you will be wanting some answers. You may have already guessed that your true name is Alex Denton.
Dr. Nassif was telling the truth. I'm a clone of J.C. Denton.
With a few postnatal recombinations, yes, but our work has moved away from clones.
So this gateway, I can use it to find J.C. Denton?
Yes. Beneath the ruins of the Black Gate, J.C. constructed a portal to his secret base in Antarctica. Only descendants of the Denton cell line can go through. However, the facility is already in the hands of the Templars.
Did the Templars use the portal? How could they unless one of the other trainees?
Unless the Templars have already convinced one of you to go through the gate and murder J.C. Exactly. At a minimum, they have a highly placed spy who has torn apart our organization, starting with Chicago.
What else do you know about this spy?
Whoever it is also helped the Templars kidnap Her Holiness during a meeting with the Panzerworks Union. They are holding her at the Blackgate Laboratory. I'm going to give you a code to a secret entrance, which is in a room on the second floor of the East Tower, 2521. Look for a keypad hidden behind some crates.
For all you know, I'm a Templar myself.
Then Apostle Corps has already lost everything. Rescue Her Holiness. Save the summit for the sake of both factions. They will help you against the Templars. You will need the help of the WTO in order just a little while longer.
I understand.
Here's something to give you an edge. A biomod infusion. It isn't much, but it's all I managed to grab on my way out of the laboratory.
From here he's fine, but up close it's kind of like he's got a weird like skin graft thing done. It's odd. Yeah, Frankenstein.
The time is coming when you will have to choose sides, Alex. Be careful of the other trainees. They won't necessarily see things the way you do. All of our secrets are contained in the cells of your body, but no one will be able to make use of them without JC's help. During the collapse, JC had little choice other than exile. The merger with the Helios AI was unstable. He needed a safe place to retire, where we developed a more compatible biomod architecture. I'm curious about what you will find in the laboratory. Perhaps Her Holiness has learned something about the Templar plans. During the collapse, JC had little choice
Okay,
other than exile.
he's
The merger
done
with the
his
Helios AI
bit.
was unstable. He needed a
Let's
safe
see what's
place
over
to
this way.
retire, where we developed a more compatible biomod architecture.
Okay, back to the bar. No shield. Okay. we're done here. Well, actually, no, wait. Terminal.
Time again for a talk bullet. In the bullseye today, Chairman Dumier of the WTO. Welcome, Chairman. I admire what you've done for the world community. Hi, Brett. You've proven once and for all that a sound economic infrastructure establishes confidence, trust, and a good life for everyone. Why demean yourself by negotiating with a religious cult?
Well, Her Holiness is a woman who...
I'm embarrassed for you, Chairman. Seriously, you're kneeling before con artists. I'm turning red. Look at me. I'm turning red just thinking about it.
I'm a diplomat, Brett. Her Holiness and I...
Take my advice and call the whole thing off. Encourage them and you just make the church into a bigger problem. Mark my words. I'm afraid that's all the time we have. A pleasure as always. This has been another Talk Bullet.
Probably wonders, are they actually getting the people on, or are they somehow, like, manipulating voices or whatnot? Because why would people even go onto that show? That's its stick, you know. So yeah, it's probably faked in some way. If you get what I'm saying. Like, why would Dumier go on that? Why would and the other people we've seen go on it when that's the guy's entire shtick? Just talks over you and you don't get the word in even edgewise. So.
For the first time in decades, meteorologists are detecting a dissipation in nanite swell 11. In the history of the 14 nanite pollution clouds globally, no natural disintegration has ever been observed. 5 years ago, there was a significant shift in swell 9, but that was caused by El Nino. Most predictors seem to indicate that all of the nanological clouds were permanent after effects from environmental damage done in the wake of the collapse. This unexpected change is great news for the citizens of Old Cairo, who had grown accustomed to the permanent haze which was suspected by many to be the cause of the higher incidence of certain diseases in the Medina.
Panzerworks. It's not just a name, it's a commitment to security, to safety, and most of all, to the community. Our facility in Trier provides more than half the population of the city with a job they can be proud of, the production of bots, from security grade to military level, helping to keep the world safe.
Yeah, I can see why Trier wouldn't like the
Now
order.
we're expanding production, so we're looking for new faces. You might be the next vice manager in charge of servo receptors or armor arc welder technician 3. Submit your application today.
Ah, Diomar. Well, that's creepy. Like, random bust. Oh, Ohio State bobbleheads. Once you've assembled your collection, you want to keep each piece in perfect condition. This means scrupulous cleaning on a regular basis and safe storage away from dust and strong vibrations. Be careful not to use harsh cleansers or you might damage the finish. Do not overstimulate the string during cleaning or your head may cease to bobble. The Dentons. Myth and mystery. Though many of his actions remain shrouded in mystery, we do know that J.C. Denton played a major role in resolving the Great Death Plague. However, some suspect he also initiated the collapse. He began as ancient UNACO, but realized that it was corrupt. He joined his brother Paul in the NSF revolutionaries. Both J.C. and Paul remain powerful and mysterious figures in global imagination, no one has heard from either in decades. A few radical thinkers believe the Dentons will return, but most concluded they simply perished in the collapse. Journal. Saturday, August 30th. My family was once proud and powerful, but after collapse, the curse to WTO regime changed all that. My father, Aldrin Braden, fought them, pushing for diversity and civil freedom, but he lost. Something I have to accept. Wasn't strong enough. Now my brothers and cousins and I are old enough to carry on the fight. Our family is ruined, but we moved into the underground. Seeing the world through the sniper's scope, Fallon has already taken several of their officers down over the last year, and Sheets continues to spy on their administrators, picking up critical intel data. Lear is keeping a journal of what our oppressors would call our subversive activities. Saddest twist is that Caleb has broken with the family and now works directly with the WTO. My anger over this betrayal burns like phosphorus. I swear, I'll see my own brother executed for this. I'm going to build up a resistance movement and smash those bastards and their so-called walls of economic prosperity. Senjin Braden. Probably feels I should recognize that, but I don't. I like the name.
Power glitch. Fixed.
Nice little cache. Jacob's Shadow by Andrew Hammond. Chapter 12. A lot of people say the city looks like hell, Ali said. She took a long drag from her cigarette. The glowing tip burned a hole in the darkness. Most people have never been to hell, Jacob said. She looked at him, and he could hear the smile in her voice. And you suppose I have? Jacob said nothing, then stood and walked to the bed. I let out a small noise and shrank back against the pillows, as if she'd clawed her way into her way into them if she could. He leaned down close to her ear. He leaned down close to her ear. You like to play games, he whispered. And that's fine. But you don't want to be playing games with me, because I'm the one honest man in the city. You should know that, since we were married.